Good morning! Prosto is back! Prosto is back! And with the...
Is Ben?
Back.
Ah, Ben.
No. Today we're back with the jacaranda outside and the sun and all the team.
Who is jacaranda?
Jacaranda is the tree. People know the tree. No, they know. They know. Like the color of the slide. So today we have the season 3 and the second presentation of season 3. Okay, I'm João and I'm part of the Prosthodontic department here at YAD, and today we launched a new case. So the first thing I would like to say is please subscribe our channel on YouTube, and we would be very, very happy to have you. Every Tuesday morning we have this live session, but of course we have so many other contents that you can search and follow and just check, and I'm sure that you'll be more than happy. We have orthodontics, implantology, oral hygiene, dental technicians, we have everything. So it's, I think, as complete as it can be. So let's go and talk about this case. So this is a very interesting case. He's a very young patient, 39-year-old. Of course, here is a prosto case, and the main concern of the patient after the orthodontic treatment was to have an aesthetical rehabilitation and finishing the case, in fact, to improve the smile. And from what he said, as I have done this investment and I've put so much energy and time to this, I would like to finish, well, let's finish the best way possible, okay? So we have tooth 13, 12 and 11 with root canal treatment. This endodontic treatment was done much before the patient came to the clinic, but we addressed the case to our fellow colleague, Dr. Teresa Casaca, to have her opinion on this, these treatments, and she said, as no symptoms or signs were visible and present, we wouldn't have and we wouldn't need to repeat the root canal treatment. The only question we had was about this post. Was a very, very thick and long metal post, and we would need to address this as we develop the treatment. But what we have a crown on this tooth, on tooth 13, and two composite overlaying the buccal and the vestibular surface of these two teeth. So the options that we gave were first ceramic crowns tooth 13 to 11 and the composite on tooth 21. Then ceramic crowns on the first 3 teeth and the second quadrant rehabilitated with veneers, or ceramic crown on tooth 13 and then the rest in veneers. So the result that we had was very dispersed. There was, I wouldn't say that this option 1, ceramic crown 13, 12, 11, even though it is the most voted, because I think it's unclear. So let's go and start back and look at the case just to develop the reasoning and to understand why we did what we actually did and why we addressed the case this way. The first thing I would like to say, today we honor a very special friend and very special colleague that I had the chance of sharing some great moments. Francesco Cecco unfortunately passed away today, and he always said that knowledge and not the trend of the moment should be the guide of our hands, and it stick to me, and every presentation that I gave here on the advanced prosto courses, I share this slide. So I woke up with this news, and as a team, we just would like to honor the Italian Academy. Cecco was always that person that was never happy with the condition the Academy worldwide was driving, sometimes not defying or challenging as much as they should through science or discussion. And he was a very, very active person, a very nice person, a friend of his friend, and he was part of one of our projects some years back, the International Aesthetic Masters. It was an online congress we did. So big condolences to the family, but most of all, it sticks to us, to the interpretation of this case. We act as a team, and we are a team, and this is a team case. We have here the orthodontic team that, of course, share this case with us, and Dr. Elena, Dr. Mafalda, together with me and Berta, and of course oral hygiene department, we have decided to go forward and develop the treatment. So this is the initial situation of the patient, not going in detail on the orthodontic development and diagnosis. Of course, what we have is a crowded area in the lower, edge-to-edge contact anteriorly, and of course the axis of the teeth are a bit blocked, which in terms of how we develop prosthodontics and how we develop the cases and the rehabilitations that we do, we need to have flow. We cannot have blockage on the dentitions, because if dentitions are blocked, the risk of fractures, the risk of instability, the risk of gum inflammation is higher. So this is something very, very straightforward for the orthodontic department, and I think Elena and Mafalda, and we always share this, me and Elena, when we talk, we need to make it clear and open so that at the end it is at the same time very stable orthodontically. So this is the occlusal view of the case. We can see that the positioning of the anteriors need to be readjusted because there's almost a cross bite in the first and fourth quadrant anteriorly, and the positioning of the lower incisors is very how you say is very disadvantage for the development of the restoration itself. So lateral views, we can see that we have here a bad positioning of the molar as well, even though it is well positioned in the relation of the first molar. But, well, there's mainly something to be addressed anteriorly. So as we finish the case orthodontically, still some minor adjustments in the lower, we can already proceed with the upper. So which condition do we have here? What we have is, first, we have a crown that here is already a provisional, and this crown is, I would say, to be repeated anyway, okay? Of course, these two teeth have to be reconstructed, but the surface of the tooth and the form and the size is not compatible with what you see on the other side. Then you have a class 4 restoration that is anesthetical as well on tooth 21. And there's a mismatch of symmetry between the both teeth, okay? Mainly, another thing that pops up for the prosthodontic department is that this anterior left side has an overbite and overjet that is more favorable than the left side, because there are limits to the movement as well, and because as well we were planning to do a final rehabilitation, so we just want to position it right so that we can proceed with the rest. So having this in mind, as you can see, we have here a 1 millimeter overbite overjet, and I think when a prosthodontist looks at the case, this is what he needs to drive his reasoning for, okay? So it means that if I get this on the left side, I will try to get this on the right side, okay? So it means that the bumping of the incisal ledge of the lower incisor against the palatal area of the upper is almost non-existent. It will be a contact more on the incisal, the incisal third of the upper than in the middle or cervical, okay? But what is important to acknowledge here, and we can see here the final images of the orthodontic treatment, okay? But what we need to acknowledge here is that we have... Okay, fine.
He has a mustache.
Yes, he has a mustache. What we need to acknowledge is how greatly we have finished in terms of positioning of the lowers. That helps us so much. Thank you, orthodontic department. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And that makes us, in fact, then evaluate on another perspective, which is, well, how should we look at this? We have to look at the color, we have to look at the form, and we have to look at the biomechanics. Okay, it's the mustache, but no, it's your husband. Well, so in terms of the size and the form, it is asymmetrical. So it shouldn't be left like this, okay? For a harmonious smile. Second, in terms of the color, we have at least 4 different colors in the set of 6 teeth. But in terms of the biomechanics, what we have is a setting of these 2 teeth that has to be improved and matched the setting biomechanically of these ones, okay? So imagine that I take the first option, which is 3 crowns and a filling. I will have a better matching of the form. I will have a better matching of the biomechanics, but I will not have a better matching of the color and the aesthetic result. Because for the patient, the proprioception of the tongue and what you will have as a final result is always a slight mismatch on the feeling between the ceramic and the tooth. There will be a difference, okay? And even if you get the best ceramist in the world, there will be a slight difference between the ceramic and the natural tooth, okay? Second option, the crowns on the first quadrant and the veneers on the left. This was the most voted. But what do we have? We have a situation in which the contact is more on the incisal third, okay? So it's not on the palatal. So it means that biomechanically you have a tendency to the force have a momentum of force to the outside, okay? If I do a crown such as this one, which is a retreatment of the tooth, what I will need to do is I would need to take a lot of structure out to manage the same situation, okay? But I'm taking structure out without a real need, because the difference of color is given by the composite that is on the buccal side of the teeth that is aged. So there's no point. If I take out the composite, then eventually I'll have the same color compared with the other, okay? Also, if I take more structure, I will create a much different and difficult way of addressing the case throughout the years in what oral hygiene is concerned. So, what do I need to do? What I need to do is, and I have a composite restoration here. what I would need to do is to make this as conservative as possible, trying to get the possibility of matching the least invasive approach to thinner ceramic, okay? Knowing that today, with the thinner ceramics, we can create an opaque layer and block the color as well. So there's no concern in terms of color today, okay? You just need to progress correctly. So to match the form and to have a harmonious result, we decided to do 3 veneers. I think we agree. But on this side, we decided to do veneers profiting from the enamel we had here, veneers that would go until this area overlapping the composite to block the composite and to strengthening a little bit the mechanics of the edge, but not taking the entire structure of the tooth. So I think what we want to share as reasoning is to address the problems and try to solve together with the laboratory in the most conservative way, okay? Knowing that, of course, when you have composite, either a class 3, class 4 on a veneer, don't forget that you need to overlap, the veneer needs to overlap that composite, and eventually you need to change the composite before you finish the case. So trimming over new composite. So we did a mock-up, okay? The initial mock-up, we had some, the patient was pleased. We had some questions regarding the size of the canines. We wanted to reduce a little bit the size of the canines, but in general, the patient understood that we would have a harmonious result in terms of color, symmetry, etc., etc. So we decided, well, I agree with you, because we always share this with the patient. It's a decision of the patient. I agree with you doing this way. So we just proceeded. So here you can see that we have matched the size and form of the laterals, which were very asymmetrical, okay? And we have also matched the size of the centrals, and we would need to readjust only the cervical area of the centrals, but this is a more technical thing. So these are the preps, okay? Let's go in detail through the preps. On the second quadrant, the preps for the veneers are all feather edged, okay? We want to conserve a maximum the enamel at the cervical area, because what we want for these veneers is to have a full contact in enamel. So we just leave it feather edge, as it also creates a much better matching and much better result in terms of the pink aesthetics and the white aesthetics, okay? On the first quadrant, we had a very slight difference of tone on these 2 teeth, and so we decided just to do a deepening of the preparation, and we decided as well to do buccally a little bit more invasive approach when compared with the other second quadrant. On the first, on the tooth number 13, we kept the metal post for many reasons. The first one, it was stable, no filtration, and the second, it was too long, and the volume of it was too big. So the risk of breakage and the risk of the benefit of taking it out was much lower than just keeping it. But here we just kept also a framework of preparation that was conservative, just expanding a little bit on the edge close to the gum so that we could have better thickness. But here you can see we don't do chamfer preparations anymore. We just try to diminish in terms of width, nothing more. And here the preparations, we always say this, just keeping in mind that you have 3 plans to be conserved, okay? And if we look on the occlusal side, this is the result and the change that we did. So you see veneers today, they just are placed horizontally, okay? And here you can see all the preparations and how much we kept the structure. The big difference that you see here is, so we keep the structure of the tooth and we just overlap this area, which is the area of the composite, okay? Not only on this tooth, but on this one. If the contact and the overbite of this case was here, then we would do a crown. And this is the main difference of the reasoning, okay? Because as the contact is in the incisal third, we just need this to do a counterweight of the momentum of force that we'll have on the bumping on the protrusive movements, okay? And here, as you see, exactly the same thing, the lateral a little bit more, and the canine as well. So we finished the case, and we did a full digital protocol, and we sent images of the color of the substrate, which is very, very important for the laboratory, because they need to know how much they need to put opaque layer to block the substrate of the teeth. And this is the final result on a smile positioning. And here we have now just the work of the orthodontic department just to finish with some slight movements in the lower. So we have desilicate crowns, crown here and veneers here. This is called a 360 veneer, okay? And here the buccal veneers. And this is important that you see that the veneer needs to go and follow the contour of the tooth, okay? And this is the before and after of the case, which I think corresponds to the demand of the patient, and actually I think what us as a team, the orthodontic and ourselves in the prosthodontic department, we want as a result. I think the matching of the colors between a more brownish substrate and a lighter substrate, I think it's really, really good. Credits to our dental lab and to Antonio Loro, is the ceramist of this case. And this is the lateral views of the case. So we can see this was a week after we placed, so this is the control visit photographs. And this is the before and after of the case. Here we can see how much we have improved the stability of this gum, okay, which is very impressive in such a short notice. It also comes with the three-dimensional adjustment of the rehabilitation regarding the gum and the tissues. So this was the case. This is what we wanted to present. So one crown on 213, 2 360 veneers on the incisal third, and then 3 veneers on the second quadrant. Thank you so much. Follow us, and